Hey folks, Nick with Bootstrap Farmer. Today we're going to talk about how to put shade cloth on a hoop house. Putting on shade cloth, thankfully, is much easier than putting on plastic in that usually you're putting the shade cloth on top of the plastic so you don't have to worry about snags or anything like that. It's simply going to glide on top of the hoop house and then you secure it with your choice of either the shade cloth clips or my preferred way, an extra piece of wiggle wire here and there. So very first thing, you already have, or you should already have, some wiffle balls left over from whenever you installed your plastic. And here's what I like about wiffle balls. So if you had the corner of a much larger piece of shade cloth, you simply stick this around, give it a little twist, and then what I like to do is make a simple loop with your rope or your strap. After the twist, you're going to come around and feed the rope through that loop and give it a couple of turns. It's going to come off real easy. Another wiffle ball on the other side, you're going to throw it over, and this is going to give you a lot of area to pull on without ripping the shade cloth, so it glides right over. Let me show you how to secure the other line to the wiffle ball before you throw it over. And the reason we want to do this is because it gives the line just enough weight without being too heavy that if it bounces off the plastic or something like that, it puts a hole in it. It just simply bounces off. If you don't quite make it, it's super easy to pull back, throw again. And I'll show you a couple of different ways to do that later on in the video. In many of these videos, I laminate and go on and on about wiffle balls. It's a great American company. I'm a sucker for baseball nostalgia, but they also have these nice little ribs in here that, especially with a piece of strapping, makes it super easy to thread through, tie up, and then give you something to throw the ball. Now, a little quick tip is I like to pull a lot of the slack into a coil, and I like to rear back, throw this, and as I let go, it unravels and doesn't get caught. Sometimes you don't quite get it over. You can use the painter's pole that you use to kind of poke the plastic around. Hopefully you still have that to grab it. Maybe have somebody tall, maybe get a ladder, but most of the time it'll go over. So last week we put on a piece of shade cloth about an hour away from our warehouse, and I'm going to walk you through some of that process just so you can see it out in the field and not in a miniature version. We already tied the wiffle balls to the corner of the shade cloth. That way we can put the rope on there. It easily is thrown over the hoop house to your partners on the other side who can then pull it over. This is a big piece of shade cloth. This is a 32 foot by 100 foot, and they're just pulling it over, and then they're just going to pull the ends to the corners. Once it's attached, they simply trim it up. So this video is sped up to respect your time as you're watching videos, but the process is super fast. Every time you put shade cloth over plastic, it just glides right over. Really don't have to worry about much. Now, if you're using the shade cloth to build a shade structure without plastic, the same principles and rules apply in that you may want a long painter's pole to kind of help poke the shade cloth in case it gets caught on a cross connector or a purling or any other infrastructure that you've put in. Super simple. Please subscribe, ask any questions you have down below. We'll get to you as quick as we can, and we will see you in the next video.